What's up, everybody? I'm about to get back into my YouTube groove, so I'm just going to be strictly YouTube. I actually just picked a few things up. We're going to try to attempt to start the car. It is Sunday. I've done nothing but relax yesterday. Took some time off of everything else and just relaxed. But as you can see down here, we got about $10 worth of E85. That's about all we need to make sure we got enough to feed the pumps and everything. Got some cheap old braking oil, cheap filter. So all that will get changed, of course. Be going with a Honda filter and everything. First, what I need to do before I get this valve cover put back on, that valve cover over here has a brand new gasket set on it. So I'm gonna do that just for the startup until Charlie gets mine done, and then I get my catch can lines made. But first and foremost, I need to do a valve lash adjustment. So as you can tell, most of these are already broken loose. This one should be, yeah, this one's loose too. I think I'm gonna do intake on 0.08, 8 thousandths, and then do the exhaust side on 10. So I already got my 8 right here. You might be able to see that. Yeah, there we go. So 10 or 8 on the intake side. Slide it right in there, get it all adjusted, and then do the 10 on the exhaust side. Get all that squared away, and then we'll get some fuel in it, put the valve cover back on it, get that bolted down. I just got this stud changed out because that was snapped off. Been like that for a while now. I'm just now getting around to replacing it. So got that on there. I'm gonna go ahead and knock that out so we can get the valve cover back on, and then throw some fuel in it, see if we can't get this thing to run. So I think I shouldn't have any issues. The last attempt that I had of starting the car, I actually ran into a wiring issue. That was the main reason why the car would not start. It would crank, but at the computer on K-Pro, the laptop said that I had no ignition power. The ignition was off when it was clearly on. So the whole car has been completely rewired. Engine harness was taken care of because it had a pin out for the ignition. That was actually the issue. But I went ahead and pulled all of the wiring out of the car and replaced it with a custom wiring kit from Wireware, which he done an absolute phenomenal job on it. Not thank him enough for that. So the car is absolutely 100% wired up now. The gauges are wired up, switch panels wired up. Everything is there. I just gotta put my K-Pro in, plug it up. I gotta get this, it's probably chill right here. But everything else is already tied up, out of the way. And these are all extra wires that he had tied into, done a open lead for if I wanted to switch to a regular cluster or anything like that, just an original cluster. Because I do have a digital cluster on the way from him, which I should be getting that soon. That's what that plug's for. So that'll plug into the back of the digital cluster. So everything has been changed, upgraded, and taken care of. So I should not have any issues with starting this thing. Fingers crossed. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock this valve lash out, get these adjusted to spec, and then we will proceed to the next step and get this thing closer to being started. All right, guys, so I got it all pretty much wrapped up. I ran into a couple of issues as I was putting water into the upper coolant housing. I noticed it's actually on this fitting right here. It was leaking right around this seal, which you can see now it's leaking right here. And that's the only one that is leaking out of all of these on my coolant lines. So I'm assuming that this is probably just a bad fitting. The reason why I say that is because it was on this side on the radiator. And I kept having leaks and leaks and leaks. And I kept trying to tighten it up. And actually, I've just now seen a small drop. Yep. So it's actually leaking from here too. Yeah, I just now seen it. There it is right there. So what I'm guessing is that hose is too short. So it's causing the fittings to actually bind up and not seal up completely. That's what I'm assuming. Maybe I need to make this line just a little bit longer, and that'll take care of that. That is the only leak I have had so far. I got oil in it. Fluids are in it. The only thing I got to do is put fuel in. And just to move, I got to, well, for stopping, I got to put somebody in the driver's seat, which will more than likely be my wife. Which can't do it right now because she's asleep. She's got work tomorrow, since tomorrow is Monday, or now, because it's 1 o'clock in the morning. But I was having some issues with these crush washers right here, which you can kind of see. Got damaged a little bit. It wasn't centered right. It is a smaller outside diameter, so it's pretty much got to be perfectly in place. So I did source this at Harbor Freight just to see if it'll take care of it. And it's looking like it's going to do the job. They are kind of overkill on size, but they are sealing up. And that's all I need. So now that that's taken care of, that was my only leak that I got currently on the brake lines. So I'm pretty sure I got that addressed. I got to get another line made. I got to order some more hose because what I ordered was actually perfect amount for what I done over here. And I got that much left, which is definitely not enough. So I'm gonna order some more and then pull them fittings off, make that line just a little bit longer, probably a ½ an inch, I'd say, if that. And then we should be squared away. So I'm, aside of the leak and the brakes need to be bled, I'm actually gonna go up and get me some rest. And then we will pick back up tomorrow and try to get this thing running. So like I said, all I gotta do is just put some fuel in, got some fresh E85, get that put into the cell. I got the cell all cleaned out from where all the old E85 was in there. These are still my old 2200 Bosch injectors. My alphas are in the toolbox, stashed away. Those won't get put in until I go to hit the rollers. But everything is together now. So hopefully, fingers crossed. Like I said, I shouldn't have any issues because wiring was the last issue of the last attempt to starting it. So I will get my battery put on the charger before I go upstairs. Got the charger over there. I'll put it on a slow charge, let it charge the rest of this morning, and it should be ready to go when I get up. And we'll go from there. So I will see you guys tomorrow. So I got it on the jump start option, 12 volt 200 amp start. So I'll wait for this timer, and then the reason why I know the battery's still shot is when I hit that ignition switch, the first switch, my pumps are actually fuel pumps, and water pump is all tied into that switch. So when the ignition comes on, I won't forget to turn the water pump on and the fuel pump. So all that's into the ignition switch. Big thanks to my boy over at Wireware, Anthony. So he got that all wired in for my safety. That way nothing happens. So all of this should actually be wired into the ignition as well, because that's where I run my power and my ground through. So I'm assuming the battery's just completely dead, because I mean it has been sitting for a while. Alright, boys and girls, so after being off the phone with Anthony, he actually got me taken care of with this. I made a boo-boo, and I was daising my alternator over to my starter, which needed to be done, and I was still currently charging the battery like an idiot, and it arced on the starter for a split second. I did not think it was going to do anything, but it did pop the ignition fuse. So the battery might be charged enough. No. So we'll give this another shot. Ah, come on, battery. Come on, man. It is right there, guys. It is right there. So I went through, I double checked. We ain't got no fuel leaks. Everything is good to go. Oh, man. This is nerve-wracking. I checked back here. No fuel leaks. Checking the back. Everything's good so far. I gotta get that battery charged, man. I got it on the jump start. So we'll try again here in a second. Guys, we are almost there. Gotta go over this base map real quick. Upload. Alright, so I figured out I got a rear main leaking, so that's lovely. But hey, she's running.
Hi, Tata.
So we get to take care of that now. That's exactly where it looks like it's coming from. The rear main. So I guess while I'm already in there pulling it apart, I might as well throw in a hydraulic throw-up burn. So yeah, actually going back to like my 4th YouTube video, I'm gonna go ahead and put myself on blast. I went back and checked the video. This is actually whenever I was when I was installing my twin disc. So this has been a long time ago. And yeah, I went back and checked that video out, and I did not put a rear main seal in it. That's embarrassing to say, but I'm gonna go ahead and call myself out on it, because why not? So yeah, so now I gotta take it back apart, put a rear main seal in it, which is actually on the way. I went ahead and ordered a hydraulic throw-up burn because I am running a twin disc, and it will help out a lot with taking strain and stuff off of the pedal assembly and everything. So I went ahead and got that ordered. Everything's on its way. It should be here in a few days. So the car's running. I did finally get to hear it start and run, so that's definitely good. Took a lot of stress off my back, just being able to actually hear it fire up and actually run. You probably heard that it had like a misfire to it, which I'm assuming it's going to be one of these coil plugs. I can't diagnose that until I get the oil leak taken care of. So once I get the rear main seal put in and get that knocked out, I'll be able to actually let the car run, and then diagnose what the misfire is going to be. It's got brand new plugs in it. It's probably something really small. Like I said, I think it's just a coil pack. I got some extra ones over here on the shelf that I can test out. So I'd say probably what I'll end up doing is let the car run and then just unplug each coil pack at a time, see if it changes the idle, and go from there. So yeah, nice little video I got put together. It's actually pretty long, so I should be able to chop it down and make a decent video where it's not too crazy long. But she's running. It is alive. It does sound healthy. I just got to take care of that small misfire and get that rear main seal put in. So I appreciate y'all's support. I want to get back on my YouTube thing. I've been working on this video for a couple weeks now, I'll be honest with you, chasing down this starting issue. And I want to give a huge shout out to my tuner, DK Goodrich. He's helped me out a lot. He's sent me multiple maps to get this figured out, just to find out that my injectors were clogged up. So I kind of figured I should have took notion of that they were going to be clogged up, because after my last startup attempt didn't go so well, and the car sat for a little bit while I was acquiring some more parts. And then of course that was whenever we were waiting on the whole entire wiring harness and stuff, the chassis harness and everything wiring wise. So yeah, that makes perfect sense, especially with the E85. So he's actually my tuner's going to clean my injectors for me, which I got them right here. I might be able to flip the camera around and show you. Oh yeah, you can kind of see in there. Almost looks like sand. It's just some material. So yeah, I got them set up there. They just need to be cleaned. I actually put my my Alpha 2210, and that literally fired right up. I tried multiple maps that he had sent me, and it fired up on pretty much all of them, the ones that I did test. So I appreciate y'all's support, and that's going to be it for this video. Next video, we will be pulling this car apart to get the rear main seal in, like I was mentioning, and get the hydraulic throwout bearing in and get it back together, and then diagnose from there and get this thing actually up and going on 4 cylinders like it should be. So just small things. We're getting there. These are just the bugs that got to be worked out. The rear main seal was definitely a no-no. It was something on my part. I don't know. It was just must have been that day. I was excited to get the transmission mated up with it, and I overlooked it. I had people come over that day and hang out, and I'd say I probably got sidetracked, but that's on me. Now I just got to deal with it. But appreciate y'all's support like always, and we'll see you on the next video. I'm out. Peace.